All right, my handsomes, it's Sticky Nicky from Claret and Booze. I hope you're all well.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, as we know, Callum Wilson's set to be joining. It's been reported all week, but now TalkSport and Dharma Chef has picked it up on Sky Sports as well. And now we're just waiting. We're waiting for the man that we all love to sign. I've got a lot to say about this, but before I do, I'm going to bring someone into the show.
Hello.
Here he is. Hello, John. How you doing, mate?
Doing all right, mate.
Fucking hell.
I think it's an absolute shit show. I just think at the minute, Sullivan's actually, you know what? I think he actually, well, he probably is, if the petition is anything to go by. I think he just knows he's untouchable.
We miss out time and time again. So we're literally restricted. He's aligned himself with these fucking sharks. You know, they're all crooks, and we will only sign players. We'll get good players every now and then. We got Wan-Bissaka last year. But on the whole, the way we spend money is shit.
I always said to you, he's happy. He has no ambition, because ambition means he's got to spend and he can't siphon money out, right?
Again, I don't know what more to say to people about the petition. This has been one of the worst windows after two of the worst years of football I can remember as a football fan. And people can't be asked to sign a fucking petition. There's no reason, no good fucking reason. Even if you think, oh, what do petitions do? What do they... Find out. It takes 2 seconds. How stubborn have you got to be? We're helping ourselves here. You're not signing that to help me or help anyone else. This is your club. How much more do you want to take before you put your name on a petition that says, I want these cunts out, done, dusted? How much more are you going to let him take the piss out of us? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. Not a Sunday night show, it's a Monday night show. And I'm joined this week by Adam. How are you, mate?
A lot better after seeing that video, mate. I love Baby Nick.
Yeah. It's the only way I can get John and Mickey on the show now, just by playing that clip. So John's done a runner. He's given up on all things West Ham at the minute. I don't blame him. And Mickey's not well, bless him. So sending love to Mick. Hope you feel better soon, mate. But yeah, we've got plenty to be talking about. But before we get into it, please don't forget, drop a like on the video. And if you're new around here, why not subscribe? Right now, Adam, we've been going back and forth for ages on, since what happened on Friday night. I've not spoken to anyone else about the game on screen. It's just been me rambling on. We'll just breeze over it because it kind of does set the. It's relevant, when you factor in what he did on Monday night. Were you expecting him to do almost the same thing, to repeat, some of those blatant errors with the lineup, which they were blatant errors? Were you expecting him to do that again? Not
at all, mate. Not at all. I think after what happened on Monday, which you can see from the outset, the setup was completely wrong. You think to yourself, you got to learn from your mistakes and change it up a little bit. So. Yeah. I wouldn't say I was looking forward to the game on Friday or optimistic, because I didn't really think we would get much out of it. But then when I saw the lineup, it was confirmed that, we was on a hiding to nothing, really.
Everyone felt the same. I think no matter what WhatsApp group I was part of, the general reaction from every West Ham fan, even those that you would consider to be, more glass half full, always look at the positives, were like, oh my fucking God, why is he doing that? And that is why I kind of I did label the show self-sabotage, because look, I know it's a conspiracy, but he ain't that shit, Adam. He's not that shit. I mean, no. to do what he'd already seen didn't work and repeat it again in 2 winnable games. I mean, I don't know if it's a record, because they were both 6-pointers. So we lost 12 points in 5 days.
Yeah, terrible week.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're right though. He's not shit. He can't be shit because of the fact that he's managed we're the 4th Premier League team.
Yeah.
So he's obviously got ability, or he's got an incredibly good agent. One of the two.
Or could it be a situation where we know that a lot of these managers do rely heavily on their backroom staff? Could he have been a front man to a really good team of people, and without that team of people, he's not all that? I don't know. Maybe he's a bit lost.
I think nowadays a lot of coaches do rely on their backroom staff anyway, and typically they are the front man, but they do obviously lean on their team for help and support when needed. So to not have that, he's going to be at a slight loss anyway. However, going into Friday and pretty much starting off with the same 11, give or take a couple, was inexcusable. Really, that can't be lack of ability or awareness. That's just incompetence and ignorance, I think.
See, I'm not buying incompetence. I can't, because it's what I don't know what's worse. Because I mean, we're screwed either way. If it's self-sabotage, and that's exactly the type of man that you do not want anywhere near this club. No. I mean, obviously there were the red flags that I've spoken about. This is his 4th job in 6 years. So being sacked, getting a payoff, it's not something he's not used to. Something must have happened over that international break, though, because if you look at the teams that he put out, against, I suppose, Everton and Arsenal, normal standard teams, you couldn't pick any holes in it. I mean, the performances weren't great, but in terms of the lineups, you couldn't really complain too much with what he did. So what happened over the international break to make him just tear that up? I know we lost 2-0 to Arsenal, but it is Arsenal. We drew away at Everton. We lost 2-0 to Arsenal. So what made him go, no, fuck that, we're not doing that. I'm going to put Irvin and Suchek in the middle. What made him do that and invert 2 fullbacks and not play with a striker?
Well, all I can think is, mate, is over the international break where some players he didn't have access to because obviously there was an international duty. So the players that he had that was there day in, day out, you would have probably thought that over that period he'd seen something that probably thinks, you know what, I can trust these guys to do me a job. Right. Yeah. So that's probably why he picked them on Monday. Now, they didn't do the job, So in effect, what he asked them to do that you probably saw in the international break didn't happen. Therefore, come Friday, you cannot do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I can understand maybe a change up in Monday, albeit wasn't necessarily the lineup I wanted to see. But, you could probably say, like I mentioned, international break, he might have seen something during that period that made me think, you know what, I'm going to work with these guys. They can do me a job.
Yeah, I mean that game, you could make the argument that he's worked with those guys over the international break. Maybe he saw something in training, but there's no excuse for what happened on Friday, though.
100% not.
That blows out of the water.
That is, to me, looks like as if he's trying to create a bit of an issue. I think either to say to David Sullivan, this is what I've got to work with. This is what's going to happen week in, week out. I need support. Or he's on a hide into nothing and thinking, do you know what? Fuck it. End of the day, if I get paid off, I get paid off. What have I got? What am I losing out on? Nothing.
That's the problem. I really don't like these modern managers with these modern contracts. I mean, there can't be any other job in the world where this happens.
100%.
He could get. Look at Ange. He was there for 39 days, and. Absolutely mad, mate. It really is. The thought that we could move on to a 4th manager in 18 months is crazy. And when you look at the guy that scrimps and scrapes and goes for the cheap options, I mean, Lopetegui, the payoff was apparently around 10 million for him and his staff. Potter, the rumour is 9 million. For this guy, he's the most expensive of the lot. It's around about 6 million a year. So if we paid him off, the 3-year contract, you're looking 18 million. 18 million, in the course of 18 months.
It just goes to show, though, that the lack of nous and business, attitude that David Sullivan doesn't have. Because where is the value in 3 managers? There isn't any. We spoke about it before when Lopetegui came in, when Potter came in. There is no value in any 3 managers. They're free for a reason, and ultimately end up costing you more. So I don't understand it, to be honest. But I don't have any faith with, if we did get rid of Nuno, who would come in, because I don't think it'd be the right decision based on what we've already seen.
I mean, look, I'm shocked. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want Nuno. I said that, and I didn't think he was the right man. I never for a minute thought that this was going to happen. I thought that I thought we'd be steady. Do you know what I mean? I thought, he weren't what I wanted, but he's coming. I thought, he'll get us, he'll make us boring, and we'll grind out some results. And I thought we'd be okay, but I didn't expect this. He's gone to shit, mate, in the space of a couple of games.
I mean, what I didn't necessarily expect the results that we've got. You know, I expected better performances, or at least something that you can see that's trying. You know what I mean? So, but to see absolutely nothing apart from, you know, the first half or the second half against Everton on his first game, which he hasn't played that same team since then. I know he's had a couple of injuries like Falkirk out and whatnot, but he's not even tried the same thing since then. It's a bit shit, really.
But to be fair, Souček wasn't available for those 2 games.
This is true.
He weren't available. He's gone straight in.
The thing is, I'm not surprised. Like I said, I'm not surprised that we've been losing.
Yeah.
And I didn't want Nuno in the first place, not because I don't think he's a good enough coach, but purely because of what we've got isn't tailored to him.
Doesn't fit. Yeah.
Doesn't fit. So I didn't think my expectation wasn't great anyway. But it's been a lot worse than what I thought it may be. So the thing is, where do we go? You know, any manager that comes in, I think is going to struggle with what we've
this
got.
Group. I think quite clearly now you can see that. I don't think that, certainly with this group now, I don't think there is a magic bullet to coin a Potter phrase. I don't think there is a magic bullet now for us to fix this and give us a sharp upturn in form. So all that we can hope for really is that we do manage somehow to scrape enough points together to sort of stay within touching distance come January. I don't have any hope for that at all, because if you look at the fixtures post Burnley, I mean, and I watched Burnley at the weekend. That's not going to be easy. We're not going to get anything out of Newcastle. I mean, you never know. It's football. It can be funny things, you know, they happen. But post Burnley, the run up to Christmas is brutal by comparison to what we've just faced. So, yeah, I'd be amazed if we were on 10 points come January. I'd be amazed if we were on 10 points.
It's fair to say that, you know, until January, it's going to be incredibly brutal and difficult to watch West Ham, because we're going to have backs to the wall jobs. It's not going to be pretty, but we're going to have to try and fight. And that's the thing which I've not seen. It doesn't seem to be any passion or fight from the players.
But the thing is, the players that we've got, look at the captain. The players that we've got, no offence, Bowen, but you're not a captain, mate. You're not. We haven't really got any fighters in that team, Adam.
No.
You know, that's the trouble. We got rid of a lot. I mean, it really infuriates you now even more that we loaned Alvarez out. I mean, what a ridiculous fucking decision that was.
And there's no buyback option on him, is there either?
I've had mixed reports. I mean, I've heard that the player wouldn't want to come back anyway. But look, at the end of the day, that's down to the manager to convince him and for us to make it worth his while, because we've treated him like shit. You know, in terms of managers that have been here, they have. So he definitely wanted out by the time that he went. You know, his mind had been made up, and you've got a kind of look, he's not in a situation, Alvarez, where he needs to come to West Ham and needs to pull us out of trouble, because he's playing for Mexico anyway. Yeah. There are going to be several players around the world that will want to be getting into their national teams for the World Cup that might not be in the first teams. They might be on the fringes of the team. So I think there will be opportunities for us to get loans in. I'd like to think that we could get Alvarez back, but I don't know. I mean, what they're saying now, again, it's too little, too late, and it's infuriating that it's taken this far. The rumor is that now we've got rid of McCauley and we've got rid of who was our head of recruitment. The rumor is that they're going to go out and they're going to get a director of football because they've got to pump money, and apparently we have no money to spend. West Ham. The only way that we can really spend money now is if the club, the board, inject money into that club, which is something they haven't done for 3 or 4 years now. They haven't injected a penny into it at all. So they're going to have to do that for us to spend. Will they do it? I think they will anyway, because I think they've got to, because financially I think that we're pretty fucked. I think Sullivan is an egomaniac, and regardless of what people think that he'll want us to go down, no, he won't. He won't want egg on his face. Plus, he won't want. We'll be in trouble in the club. His asset that he might want to sell now will be worth absolutely fuck all. So I think even if we're at 10 points, I think they're going to go mental in January. And I've been thinking about this today. I have been, and I've said this to you earlier on, didn't I?
Cool.
So I've got a dream, people. Right? I think we're going to be dog shit up until January. I think we're going to be shit, worst ever I don't think we're going to win anything. I don't think we're going to beat Newcastle. I don't think we're going to beat Burnley. I think it's all going to be awful, right? But then I think if they pump money in and they position a director of football in, now the only way, this is from what I've been told, because the board collectively will have to pump money in, so it'll be Kretinsky as well. Now the only way that Kretinsky will pump money in will be if there is a director of football at the club that will be tasked with spending that money without the interference from Sullivan and Brady. Now, look, we've had this before. He brought Tim in. Sullivan didn't keep his beak out. He didn't do it. So once bitten, twice shy. You'd like to think that Kretinsky isn't stupid. And if this was to happen, it would be contractual. Something would be written and set in stone so that he couldn't. You're frozen, Adam. You're all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Are you still there? Oh, sorry, mate. It's just on this screen then. So yeah, you'd hope that it would be set in stone. But basically, that's what they're saying. The board have got to inject money. They don't want us to get relegated. But there's board members that will only inject money alongside Sullivan as long as there is a director of football that comes in and drives that. Now, there are names that are linked with the club. There are. Rui Braz is gone. That would have been the best one. Can't believe we missed out on him if we are looking for a director of football. But they will have to do it now. And this is the thing. There's no point bringing a director of football in because this type of thing takes planning. So if you're going to get a director of football in, you do it now. You do it now, ready for January. You don't bring him in on the 1st of January. You bring him in now. But you know what I think that we're witnessing? I think that we won't bring a director of football in until after the Burnley game in case we win, in case we beat Newcastle, in case we beat Burnley. That's what they're doing. I'm sure it is because we could have done this at any point. And I think that is a last chance thing for Sullivan. He's like, oh, if I've got to do it, I'll do it. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, if he can avoid spending his own money, 100%, that's what he can do. Do you know what I mean? And but
oh, Adam, you still there? Adam?
Yeah, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. As long as I can hear you, you're frozen on the screen.
Right.
I'll tell you, it might be me. If everyone else in the chat is Adam? Is it just my end, or is Adam frozen? Can you tell me in the chat, please? If that's all right, let's see what they say. Hang on.
You can still hear me, can't you? You can still hear me.
I can hear you all right. He's at Iceland, right? I'm gonna kick you out. Come back in, mate. Come back in.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Go on, mate. Right. Let's boot him out. Get out. Kick from the studio. There he goes. He can come back in. All right, there we go. There's a cackle. Right, hang on, people. 1 minute. Wait for Adam to come back in because I'm back in daydreaming mode again. Right, I'm gonna tell you what my what I think is going to happen this season. Here he is. Let's wait for him to pop up.
Is that better?
Adam, I can't see you, but I can hear you.
My camera's on.
Yeah, don't worry about it, mate. It's fine. Apparently, I'm buffering as well.
Right.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I'm breaking up too. I don't know what's going on. It must be StreamYard. I won't use StreamYard again. We'll use the other platform, but I'm going to vocal breaking Nick. Is it? I'll tell you what, everyone. Give us 5 minutes. Give us 5 minutes, and we'll be back on the other platform. So check back on the channel in 5 minutes. All right, if this is shit. So yeah, we'll drop off of here, and I'll schedule it again on the other software. Speak to you in 5 minutes.
All right, mate.